what's up everybody out there? We're at beautiful downtown Fresno at the Convention Center at 59 Days of Code, the app mobile web designer competition, the largest one of its kind in Central Valley. I got my co-host here, Mr. Higley. I'm T from the Pedal Junkies. We're about to tell you what 59 Days of Code is all about.
That's right, T. Thank you very much. Here at 59 Days of Code, we have some of the most amazing sponsors and the best and brightest developers in the Central Valley and beyond.
"59 Days of Code" is a competition that dares folks to take that shelf idea, that thing that they said they'll build someday when they have more time, build it very quickly, and then release it into the wild such that you can kind of test whether it's a good idea or not. It has the same feel as an air show. I went to air shows when I was a kid with my dad, in that you go and you see somebody do something awesome. 59 Days of Code can be that for that geeky, that nerdy kid, and it can provide them with, hey, here's what it looks like to innovate right here in your hometown.
The competition started really with the goal in mind of building up the software industry in Fresno. Some of us knew that there were other developers in Fresno, but by and large they were either working out of their homes for large companies, but working remotely and not really talking to each other or networking together. So over the last 5 years, we've managed to have hundreds of developers come through the competition, and the industry is a lot better for it.
59 Days of Code evolved from a coding competition to more of a launching platform. Just because you can write code doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to run a business, or that you know how to market a business, or that you can design anything. And it takes a team, really, to do those things.
You're forced to give attention not just to the technological achievement, not just to building the application, but also to, well, how is it actually going to perform, and is it a business?
59 Days of Code has two categories. There's zero code, which is you absolutely have no code when the clock starts, not a single line written. And then there's in progress, which is this is an idea maybe you've started before, now you need to dust it off, refresh. The prizes this year are $10,000 cash for zero code. You get your iPad trophy, you've got a number of services. All our prizes are designed around the idea that they help you move your idea forward. So in progress, you have a lesser amount of money but greater amount of services. And we think that if you're at that stage, you need more services to move your product forward and less startup cash.
The most interesting thing about 59 Days of Code is it offers the opportunity to pull a project off the shelf that maybe you haven't had a good reason to previously build, but now you get the chance to work on it for a very specific amount of time and show it to the world and have the opportunity to win prizes for it.
Hey, what's up everybody? I got Mike Dawson at the table, at the table with me at the 59 Days of Code. We're talking about his app, Sell My Digs. Sounds great, man, sounds really cool. I'm gonna let Mike open up a can of worms for you guys and tell me where did he get his idea from and how long he's been in code.
Okay, where I got the idea for Sell My Digs was, I've been in real estate for 20 years. I was flying all over the country, looking at all the top agents to see kind of what they did right and how they got homes sold. And I started incorporating all those ideas into my business. But what I found is that as technology increased, the amount of work that we had to do to sell a home decreased, but the amount of the price that real estate agents charge didn't decrease. So I know now it takes about 8.3 hours to sell a home, right? But you still pay the same amount. So on a $300,000 house, you would pay $18,000 in commission. So you're paying $18,000 for 8.3 hours worth of work. How does that sound to you?
It sounds, yeah, you're losing out, man.
So what I decided to do is say, well, what if I got the homeowner involved and I showed them all the tips and tricks that I learned over time, and I gave them all this information that they needed to use to see how much their home was worth and what they need to do to maximize their value. I put it all in one site, and I just charge them a simple monthly fee, $99 a month. So they pay $99 a month. The average home takes about 3 months to sell. So they'll be in it for $300 for the service, for the software. And then they, of course, they have to offer $7,500 to all of the other realtors in order so they can help bring the buyers. So they'll be out $7,800 on a $300,000 house as opposed to $18,000 selling it the traditional way.
Oh, crazy, Mike. That's cool, man. A few other questions that 59 Days of Code wanted me to get out here and ask is, during the 59 Days of Code, is it the 59 days of coding, is it just a slow drag through? What's the process?
Mad rush. 59 days is not that long to code.
No?
So there's two different ways you can compete. Zero code, which means at the start of the competition you have zero. You start with a blank piece of paper. And then there's in progress. In progress means you've already been working on the idea and maybe you have some code, but you need to finish it up. So when it's zero code, it is a mad dash because you're literally starting with a blank piece of paper, and in 59 days you have to have a working piece of software.
Everything, yeah.
This year we entered zero code. So we started with nothing.
A fresh idea?
So it is a mad dash. We have meetings like about every 3 days with all the developers to get everything, to make sure they're kind of doing exactly what needs to be done and nothing more, because it's a very short time deadline.
All right, I understand. And being like a competitor for the last couple of years, I understand that you won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Congratulations to my
Thank
boy
you.
right here. What does 59 days of code mean to you, man? Like, what?
Okay, 59 days of code, I think it initially started out to get tech people kind of involved and show that Fresno had a lot of tech talent. But I think it's way more than that. As you look around at every single one of these booths, those are people that made a decision for the past 60 days.
Passionate people for the product, man.
For the past 60 days, they decided not to watch Game of Thrones, not to watch TV and sit on their couch. They decided to go out there and make something to make Fresno and our economy better. And that's what I totally love and respect about the competition. Whatever booth you think out here is the least desirable one, that person is someone who decided to stop watching TV and do something for himself and for the economy.
Oh, I know. I feel that same way about what we do at Bicycle Polo. The passion about what you guys do, the blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak. You know, it's like
absolutely. Everyone's had a business idea. You've had a business idea, and it just you kind of say, well, I'll do that some other time. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that the next day. Well, what 59 Days of Code does is it gives you a deadline. It says, you know what? Take that idea, and in 60 days, it's got to be done.
Run with it.
It forces you to get off the couch and get started and get doing something. And you can see here, there's been many successful businesses, like ours was one of them. And now we started with 59 Days of Code. We got off the couch. We probably still wouldn't have started to this day, but we got off the couch for those 60 days. We won a little bit of seed money from it. We put that money into our business, and now our business is looking at big-time venture capital in the millions of dollars. We've hired 2 people, and we're going to be hiring more. And that's all started because of this competition.
And it's pretty exciting being a business owner and benefiting from 59 Days of Code, right?
Absolutely it is.
Well, I want to send it back to the floor. Back to you, Mr. Higley.
All right, we're here with Billy Shang of Minions. Hi, Billy. How are you doing this afternoon?
Hey, Matt. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. So tell me a little bit about yourself and then what booth you have here set up.
Absolutely. So our booth is, of course, our company, Minions, like you said. And we're actually a group from Seattle that came down to the Fresno area initially because of an EB5 investment, but we stayed because, one, its location is perfect. It's about 3 hours away from Silicon Valley, so you can go up there for resources, but it's also really close to Los Angeles as well. So great location, but also very cheap to get things started and really cheap to find talent, which in this community there's a lot of, especially representative of 59 Days of Code. So Go ahead.
Okay. All right, and so you said you're advertising your company. Tell me a little bit about Minions and what it is that you do.
So Minions actually does one-day jobs that matches up college students to local businesses. So if you're a small business and let's say you don't want to hire any part-time people because you simply don't need that help, but let's say you have a really busy event or you have times during the season where you just need an extra 2 or 3 hands, we'll send you a university student from a local college that we paired up with to get that one-day help. So business majors, marketing people, if you need a tech guy, we'll send you a tech guy. Basically one-day Minions is what we call them.
All right, so now you're taking part in the 59 Days of Code competition. Tell me a little bit about that 59 Days of Code, or the 59 days that you experienced. Did it go fast? Did it go slow? Your whole experience around this competition.
Perfect, so we're in the in-progress stage, and we wanted to make an extra feature in that 59 Days of Code. So when we started in 59 Days of Code, we had no prior app making experience. A lot of our development was done by our development team, but we really wanted to make this our own and say, hey, what can the founders do to make this app, to enter into 59 Days of Code. It was really hard at first. Our websites looked terrible and ugly, and at the 59 Days of Code, at the very end product, we're really satisfied with our result.
And where do you see, after this big push for the 59 Days of Code, where do you see yourself going with your company and with the product from here?
we want to work with every local Fresno company, small business, big business that needs help. If they want to find someone reliable, we want to send it to them. We want to pair them up with the best talent available out there and work with Fresno State colleges to basically send talent and get experience for those college students by sending them to work for local businesses.
All right, and tell me a little bit about your booth that you have set up here. What are we looking at?
I would love to do that. So basically one feature that we advertise to people is doing things by yourself really sucks, especially if you don't have the right people or the right tools. So let me demo over here. We're going to give you a dart, and you're going to just try throwing this and trying to hitting down a ping pong ball and see how that works for you.
Okay, throwing to knock down a ping pong ball. That's actually pretty good. I got two.
Actually. So Matt, you're actually more talented than I thought. Initially, you're supposed to miss, but you're very good. And what we say is once you have the right tools and you have helpers, and Minion is your tool, you can knock it down a lot simpler. So why don't you give another shot with this Nerf gun instead?
All right, here I'm going to take another shot with a Nerf gun. Do I get all 3 shots or just one?
Take as many shots as you want.
Okay, here we go. 3 shots.
Oh, looks like, well, sometimes that doesn't work as well. So, we're gonna try that. I think this might, here we go.
Okay, there we go, there we go.
So, as you can see, Matt's talented in both throwing darts, but also shooting with darts. Our thing is, Minions provides you with the correct tool set to find reliable help when you need it fast.
All right, so now how do people get a hold of you if you have a very much of a community-based opportunity here for students? How would they get a hold of you if they want to contact you?
Great question. So go to our website, www.minions.com. It's spelled MINYAWNS to sign up. Or you can check out our Facebook or Twitter. We're all over that, and that's perfect.
All right, so here again, we're here with Billy Shang of Minions. Thank you very much for your time, Billy.
And Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you on the competition.
I will see you there.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Hey, what's up everybody? We're at 59 Days of Code. I'm here with Darren Hayner, proud sponsor of the 59 Days of Code event. I'm here to pick his brain a little bit about 59 Days of Code and the benefits that it has in the tech industry in the Central Valley. What's up, Darren?
How's it going?
Good, good, good.
Good. So, 59 Days of Code, from what I understand, originally started as a way to bring tech-savvy people, I'll call them, together in the community.
Bring some unity?
Bring some unity, right. We wanted to build a community here in Fresno, for the tech-savvy and, kind of start our own Silicon Valley here in Fresno. And that's kind of what 59 Days of Code has served as the past 5 years.
5 years, man. And out of the 5 years, how long have you been a part of it, and what got you involved with 59 Days of Code?
Well, this is my first year actually being directly involved, but last year I was looking to make a career change. And all my life I'd been kind of a tech guy, and I wanted to get into that field, and I saw this thing called 59 Days of Code. And I thought, man, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to pick some people's brains, check it out, try to, get some connections and start my career change. And I ended up meeting Jake Soberall.
Good guy,
he led me down the path, got me going, and here I am.
59 Days of Code. Yeah, well, Darren's also involved with the judging app that. What was the gentleman's name?
Ron Luigi.
Ron Luigi is the developer of the app. But
what he did was he created an application for the judges to be able to quickly and easily go through each project as they're looking at them
and nominate people.
Give them scores. And so we can tally votes rather than the pen and the paper thing, right? I mean, this is a technology competition.
Exactly.
That's how we should be doing it.
Exactly.
Right. So Ron wrote the iPad app, and I wrote the server-side code handling all the data on the back end.
Was it a long process? How did it go?
I've been working on it for the past 8 months, and even while judging was happening yesterday, I was working on it in the middle of that. Because nothing's perfect in this world, right?
Right.
And until it's being used in the real world, you really don't know what's going to happen. So.
And being involved with 59 Days of Code and a sponsor and all that cool stuff, How has 59 Days of Code blossomed up in your life? Like,
Well, in my life, it helped me make this career change, right? You know, I showed up last year, I met Jake, I got into classes at Geekwise Academy, you know, I started showing up in the community and talking to people in the community and making connections, learning, and then also when I got involved, before I started working in this industry, when I got involved with writing that server-side code that I was just talking about, you know, that put out there to my potential employers, oh, this guy is working on something.
yeah.
You know, he's volunteering his time, he must be passionate, he must love what he's doing. And so, you know, 59 Days of Code for me has been amazing.
And being around all the other tech-savvy developers, do you like pity pat off of ideas? And
Absolutely.
Is that what this is what 59 Days of Code is about, really, right?
That's exactly what 59 Days of Code is about, and that's what, you know, Bitwise is about. Is getting together with like-minded people in the industry, bouncing ideas off each other. You know, if I have a problem when I'm at work, I can walk down the hall and talk to another tech guy and ask him how do I solve this? Have you ever run into this? You know, so
Yeah, me not being so tech savvy, I'm learning and hearing so many cool things, man. Being at this event, it's pretty awesome, man, to see everybody how passionate they are about the developing of new stuff, getting Fresno and the Central Valley on the map in the tech world. It's great, man. I'm very proud to be a part of this.
yeah, me too. I have nothing but great things to say about 59 Days of Code, what it has done for this community, and moving forward, what Bitwise is going to do as 59 Days of Code passes the baton off.
Thank you, 59 Days of Code. We're going to go back to the floor with Mr. Higley.
All right, we're back here on the showroom floor, and I'm here with Vincent Weil of Ideafy. Vincent, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself as a developer. You have a very interesting backstory. Tell us where you came from.
Okay, so I come from France. We just moved to Fresno 6 months ago. And my background is not one of a developer. I trained as a developer, but that's 20 years ago. Since that, I was more into marketing, product management, business development. And I used to run an innovation ecosystem in the last company I worked for, and that's when I got the idea of building Ideafy.
So what was it about Fresno that actually drew you here?
It's a good question, multiple reasons, but the main one is that my wife is an attorney and she couldn't work in France. She practices criminal law in the US. So for her to work, that means we needed to be back in California. So she got a job in Madeira, and when we found Fresno, we found that it was a very family-friendly city. So we moved here with our 2 kids, and she started to work as an attorney, and I started to set up Ideafy as a US-based company.
All right, so now tell me a little bit about Ideafy. What is it that you're showing here at 59 Days of Code?
Okay, so Ideafy is a company that provides innovation management solution to enterprises, and it's not just software. Innovation management is about people, is about setting up a process, and then last, setting up the tools to be able to deploy this process efficiently in the enterprise. So Ideafy is a company provides training services, consulting services, and then software to support the process in the enterprise. So the software itself, it's a client-server platform that provides a combination of idea management, brainstorming, social networking, and serious gaming feature. The clients are developed in web, are available in the browser or on the iPad. So for example here, if you look at the iPad, you can see the idea management part where it's very easy to browse, share, search ideas that you have generated or others have generated. There is a brainstorming engine that helps you craft these ideas, and the brainstorming itself, it's an exercise with different steps where users have to write a story about an end user problem and create a solution using various technologies to be creative. The social networking part really lets you connect with other users of the system, create groups, and decide who you want to collaborate with. And collaboration can take multiple forms, asking questions during a brainstorming sessions, working on a project together. And last, I was talking about a serious gaming flavor. The serious gaming part is about keeping the users engaged in using the application over the long run, and I think that's very important. So the application here provides statistics about the usage, how many ideas have you created, shared, how many contacts do you have, gives you a score, and with the score gets you a set of awards and badges.
So this looks like this has been a pretty in-depth developed product. So you're obviously in the in-progress category. What did you use this last 59 days of code to do to really polish your product?
That's correct. So this application has been in development for 16 months. And I think 59 days of code came at the right time because there's a couple of evolutions we wanted to do. First, the client was just developed for the iPad. We wanted to make it available in the browser, so that's one of the key achievements of 59 days of code. You can now run the application safely on Chrome and Safari. I collaborated with Rodi Contreras, a graphic designer, to change a lot of the look and feel of the application, make it more appealing, more user-friendly. And last, I founded the company with a friend of mine from France who moved to New York. And 59 days of code was the opportunity for me to get him back involved in the project, and he contributed with a framework that he worked a lot on.
All right, and after this competition, where do you see yourself going with yourself as a developer and the product itself?
Okay, so I'm not just a developer, I'm trying to get this company going, so my key priority after this is going to be to find customers. So we're looking for a couple of good name customers here in the US to get the business started. Ideally in the Central Valley, but anywhere would work. And I'm also looking for some funding in order to grow the team, to be able to support more devices and to add new features, particularly everything I have in mind for the next release.
All right. Thank you very much, Vince. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to go and throw it back to T at the booth.
Oh, bittersweet. It's the last 59 days of code. And actually, we're on the last 59 minutes of 59 days of code. I want to thank all the app creators out here, everybody that was a part of 59 days of code. It's been a successful event, great event for Fresno. And now we're going to go out to Matt with Irma, the co-creator of 59 days of code. Take it away.
Hi, this is Matt Higley here at 59 Days of Code, and I'm standing here next to Irma Algoin, the creator and founder of 59 Days of Code. Irma, so this is the 5th year of 59 Days of Code. How has this gone from the inception and conception of this showcase to what it's become now?
Well, when we started, all we wanted to do was find local development talent, developer talent, and we accomplished that, and it turned more into a showcase of entrepreneurs than just simply developers.
So what kind of, what has come out of 59 Days of Code in the past, and what are we seeing here today?
What you're seeing here today is the culmination of a lot of hard work, a lot of volunteer hours, but really what the attendees get to see is market-ready products. So they have 59 days to build something, they launch it, and a lot of the businesses that have competed in 59 Days of Code are still in existence today.
And where did this idea come from?
It was a conversation that I was having at the time with an organization called the Central Valley Business Incubator, and they were having a hard time finding developers in Fresno. And they asked me, I'm a developer, and they said, so where do we find these guys? And I said, well, they're at Starbucks, they have a hoodie on, they're working on a laptop, and they're not talking to you. And so they said, well, how do we get a hold of them? And we dreamed up the competition.
So now this is, I understand, the last 59 Days of Code, and also your big retirement from 59 Days of Code. What are your feelings about that, and where do you see yourself going after this?
After this is a harder question. How I feel about it is really, that's pretty obvious. It's sad, it's bittersweet, but it's also the right thing to do. When we set out to start 59 Days of Code, we wanted to find and engage local talent. If you look around you, everything that's going on today, that's done. It's happening. And there are a lot of new initiatives out there that are sort of taking up the mantle and carrying it forward. Now what we need to do is the next step, and that is find and engage the public that's interested in technology and do something with that.
Tell us about some of the sponsors that we have here today.
We have incredible local support. We have some of the larger software companies, Decipher Inc., we have some of the outside of town software companies, Google, and they all sort of throw their hat in the ring and say, we believe in what you're doing, we want to support you in a monetary sense, we want to support you in services, and we want to help your entrepreneurs grow. And so we have, like I said, about 40 42 sponsors, I think, this year.
All right, thank you very much, Irma. It's been a pleasure. Congratulations on the competition here.
Hey, what's up? 59 Days of Code. We're wrapping it up, but we want to tell everybody thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for coming out here and taking the time to come see all these awesome people creating stuff that, you know, is for the future. 59 Days of Code is awesome. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, AT&T. Thank you all the sponsors, Google, Numa, right? Numa. And the guys behind us, what were they? Decipher. Awesome guys, awesome guys. What was so awesome about the experience for you today, Mr. Higley?
You know, I actually got a chance to compete last year myself, and so I have a personal connection with everything that the guys here at this competition are going through. 59 days to come up with something to go from zero to a complete project is nerve-wracking, to say the least.
That's right.
There is little to no sleep. There was tons of Red Bull, and it is an amazing experience. And walking around, getting a chance to meet everybody, I can see what I experienced myself in all of them, in the way that they express their appreciation for what Irma has done with 59 Days of Code.
Thank you,
and
Irma.
this opportunity that they've had to do this. There's some amazing projects out there. There's some killer developers coming up with real solutions to problems that we have out there. These are not just video games that people are creating. We have child safety that has a solution out there. Child safety. We've got finding jobs for college students who are focusing so much time on school. Maybe they need to get a few bucks in there to help pay for those books. So there are solutions out there, and that's what 59 Days of Code is really become. It is a solution finder. It's finding these developers that are not only local, but brilliant, and come up with solutions to problems that are really out there in the world.
Well put, Mr. Higley, man. Well put, man. I want to thank everybody that was a part of 59 Days of Code, and just keep your ear to the street, because Bitwise is the next move. Thank you, 59 Days of Code. Thank you.
Thank you very much.